I'm live on air now. This was. We got this moment.
Could I order the Pat Special? Is that possible? I'd like the Pat Special.
Guess what just happened, ladies and gentlemen? I've just been, by Marcy, who is a Guinness rep, I've been handed a pint of Guinness that has my face on it. And I've dreamed of this moment for a very long time. I just want to thank my parents for buying me my first guitar. I want to thank the people who... Oh, my God, there's Paul as well. Did you hear what I just said? Can someone get Paul a pint of Guinness with my head on it? No. Oh, I still have your phone. Sorry, I'm in the middle of... Lots of things are happening at once here, but thanks, Guinness. Best pint of Guinness here at McGonagall's Mucky Duck. And I'm going to leave that sitting for a minute. Can that be got on the camera? Do you see this?
Oh, yeah. That's great.
It's amazing.
Wow, that's good.
I don't think you'll be able to see that on camera. You got to come down to McGonagall's, and now it's a special pint here at McGonagall's from now on. The Pat Byrne pint of Guinness.
Forever.
Unreal. Anyway, oh, were you able to share that? Were you able to figure it out?
I thought you did it.
No,
you said you were going to do it.
I was, and then I got a pint of Guinness with my head on it.
Keep talking about the pint of Guinness. That's all right.
My guest this week is Ben Balmer from Austin. Are you from? You're not from Austin, are you?
No, I'm from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to Michigan. I hope to get there this summer. But yeah, Ben is an incredible singer-songwriter, guitarist, harp player. You'll see how amazing he is very soon. But I'm going to sing a song just while people are settling in here. And if you wouldn't mind sharing the stream, getting as many folks involved as possible, and then I'll hand it over to Ben as soon as we've got a full house. But I better start with something I know. It's all very last minute here every week. I always say I'm going to arrive at 3:30 and get settled in and prepare and tune my guitars, but it's always helter-skelter. I'm going to start with been releasing singles from my upcoming record for the last few weeks. And this was the first one I released, called Capsize. And it's in A flat, Ben. Ted, would you mind, in my green bag, there's a clip-on tuner somewhere. I just realized I'm not plugged into this tuner that I'm trying to tune it off of. Thank you. Cheers, Ted. Ted Lundgren, everyone. It's 1:30, it's midday sun, it's let's just get away, it's a midweek holiday, it's a case of wine, name your place and time, it's not security, it's not stability, I don't have money, no place, no plan, but it's better than a smooth ride, better than waiting for low tide, better than watching from ringside, better than taking the fall, better than missing every sunrise, trying not to capsize, it's better than a compromise. better than nothing at all. Oh, I'm easy, I'm slow, I can be lazy, I know, but I'm right where I wanna be. So spare me the third degree. I'm the ripple in your drink, I'm a smile that's out of sync, I'm the rainbow at your funeral. I speak in Roman numerals, I'm almost inconsumable. My parachute's on fire, but it's better than a smooth ride, better than waiting for low tide, better than watching from ringside, better than taking the fall, better than missing every sunrise, trying not to capsize. It's better than a compromise, better than nothing at all. Go. But you know, like I know, I'm the bottom of the pyramid. I'm socially inhibited, headstrong, but it's a heavy load when the wolves are at the door. But it's better than a smooth ride, better than waiting for low tide, better than watching from ringside, better than taking the fall, better than missing every sunrise, trying not to capsize. It's better than a compromise, better than nothing at all. So much better than a smooth ride, better than waiting for low tide, better than watching from ringside, better than taking the fall, better than missing every sunrise, trying not to capsize. It's better than a compromise, better than nothing at all, better than nothing at all, better than nothing at all. Oh, thank you. Now we're sucking diesel. As I said, my guest this week is Ben Balmer. I've seen you play several times at your Monday night residency at Craft Pride. Is Craft Pride gone? You're somewhere else now?
Well, you know, during the pandemic and stuff, it just kind of was put on hiatus and everything. So I'm still kind of figuring out my sea legs on that. I may go back.
I heard Craft Pride was no longer with us, or is that?
No, it's still around, but you know they're gonna put a high rise there in a year or something like that. You know, just Austin deciding to eat itself.
So we've got 12 more months of it.
Yeah, 12 more months, and maybe I'll get back there. I really like those guys, but I've been playing monthly shows over at Independence Brewery in Austin, where you can buy tickets on my website and you can reserve tables and stuff because we're still doing the social distancing thing. I think for at least another month or so. So
right.
Yeah, but I'm doing.
I
that on
encourage you
Memorial
if
Day.
you're in Austin. I encourage you to see Ben. It's like one of the, well. Firstly, the songwriting is incredible, and then the musicianship and the energy of the show is always so great, and it's entertaining as well as being like great music. And I can't wait for this.
I'm a lucky guy. The guys who I play with are incredibly entertaining, killer musicians and stuff that we both play with on occasion and everything. And it's good to just hire guys that can play circles around you, you know, and hope that they like your songs. So far, I think so good.
That's all. They're the only guys I hire.
Yeah.
Why would I hire them if I was playing circles around them? That would be...
Right.
They
right.
would be really bad if I
Yeah.
was playing circles around them.
No, that's the thing, you know. Don't be an overzealous boss when like all your players can outplay you.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just so glad that like Josh Flowers doesn't write songs. You know, if he wrote songs, they'd be way better than all of ours. You know.
And I called you a harmonica player. I'm always confused by this. It's a blues harp. It's not. Is a harmonica a different instrument?
It's pronounced
altogether?
prison whistle.
Prison whistle.
Yeah. So. Yeah, harmonicist. I don't know. Yeah, harmonica player's fine.
You're one of the good ones.
Thanks. There's a lot of bad ones.
I'm one of those. I didn't take out my harp tonight.
It scares me just as much as everybody else when somebody pulls a harmonica out of their pocket.
What's that Townes Van Zandt joke?
Oh, right.
So he was playing a gig and someone was approaching the stage and reached into his pocket and he was terrified. And he pulled it out and it was only a gun. It was okay. It wasn't a harmonica.
Right, it wasn't a harmonica, yeah. I played a show one time in Key West where a guy just came up and he was like, and this briefcase is filled with harmonicas, you know, because you need a different harmonica for every key, and there's, you know, a deep rabbit hole of theory I can go about that where, you know, you can play 4 different keys and 1 harmonica if you're pretty good, and then some of the best can play on all 12, and this guy came up and I was like, and he just kept on being like, let me play with you, and I was like, what key do you have? And he's like, it don't matter, man, just play. And so I was like, all right, dude. So I called it an A flat minor because I was just like, this guy needs to learn a lesson right now. And so I called the hardest key because I assumed he probably had a C harmonica because that's what most people have. And there's like no sympathetic notes on that entire instrument in A flat minor. And he just lost all of his will. I just watched it melt away from him. And I have to admit, it was kind of a delicious experience for me. Because I don't think he'll ever do that again. And hopefully, you know, he went home and he just Googled keys of harmonica and, you know, went from there, and maybe he's like a way better player now. So you're welcome, drunk man number 4. She's a wild one, yeah, she convinced herself of that. She's just pages of a magazine torn out for scrap. She'll race you anywhere, just as long as she comes first. But she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. She'd be my huckleberry with a pistol in each hand. Quote passages from books I probably never understand. She'll stone me till I'm bloody, till my heart's about to burst. But she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Yeah, she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. That's true. Just give it up. Yeah, just a little bit. It's not the burden that you think it is. She's a rolling stone, yeah, she's a lover and a tease. She's that paralyzing feeling that you get before you sneeze. She'll make a castle crumble just to hear stones hit the earth. But she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Yeah, she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Just give it up, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, just a little bit. It's not the burden that you think it is. Well, I'm a spyglass to the fissure in her throat. I'm the space between the words she thought before she got them wrote. It's a holy blessed thing to see her smile at a curse. But she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Yeah, she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Just give it up. Yeah, 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 just a little bit. It's not the burden that you think it is. Yeah, well, don't you be afraid. Just push that stone away. Just give it up, yeah, just a little bit. It's not the burden that you think it is. Oh, she's a wild one. Yeah, she convinced herself of that. She's just pages of a magazine torn out for scrap. She'll race you anywhere, just as long as she comes first. But she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Yeah, she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. Thanks very much.
That was so great.
It's a real pleasure to play some like a real songwriter gig. You know, I feel like you know, I've just been playing weird outside gigs and like and so just I've been playing weird gigs. You know, the gigs have been coming back. I don't know if that's been your experience, but they're weird.
I've been super busy the last few weeks. I complained all year that I had no gigs, and now it's like, God, I have too many gigs. And because a lot of them are the gigs you don't really want. But I've been lucky. I've been here every Wednesday for the last year.
No.
So I've been totally mentally stable, getting my fix. People actually looking at me and listening to me. It's great. Yeah, right, he says. Well, I'm very stable now that my head's on a pint of Guinness. There's no stopping me.
I know.
That was beautiful. Is that's been recorded? Or?
Yep, that's been recorded. That's on my second record there.
Man, that's great.
It's available on compact disc. I did run out of CD players earlier, so you'll just have to go to your local antique store for those. But you can also find it on Spotify and Rob Me Blind, so that's fine.
Are you on Bandcamp? Do you use Bandcamp?
Yeah, I'm on Bandcamp, yeah.
There's a nice kind of middle ground.
Yeah, you can just buy it on Bandcamp. Or, I mean, really, I tell people just use it as a coaster, you know, just buy the CD, listen to me on Spotify, use it as a coaster, enjoy the art, you know.
That's all I use CDs for, because it's impossible for me to play one unless I develop some technology in my eyes where I can laser the. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I can't play them. Tim Flack says she'll only take the love she thinks she's worth. That's a genius line, and he's right. That is a great line. Is that what it's called? No.
Worth. It's called Worth.
Worth.
But yeah. No, it's a it's a sad story. It's about a person who really doesn't see her value, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah. A common tale. Steve Whelan's here. Steve Gallion. This is a cool gig because it's 50% of the people watching are back in Ireland. That's why I do it at 5 o'clock. So my parents are here. They're here every week. It's 11 o'clock back home, and then half the crowd is in America.
Well, cheers, y'all. Nice to be in your Irish homes.
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to do a song. This is called Only a Man. She circled the wagons. She didn't give me a chance. She pulled my heart out with a seismic glance. This race was over before it even began. For it was a horse they'd shoot me, but I'm only a man. And if I had a designer, he was well equipped. He was tried and tested, and he stuck to the script. But he drank a bottle of brandy before he drew up my plans. If If I was a house, they'd knock me down, but I'm only a man. I get lost in translation, I fly into a rage, I splatter affection all over the page. But this is no love story, and we're not Jack and Diane. If I was a letter, you'd return me, but I'm only a man. These songs of funness carry me up towards the planets. Then the songs of numbness send me crashing back down to earth. I'd catch the stars if they'd help me know what you're thinking. And if I could paint your dreams, then I would for all that it's worth. But I can't. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm lying here on the floor, waiting for an answer, for your knock on the door. But you're on greener pastures, you've slipped through my hands. And still if I had wings, I'd fly to you, but I'm only a man. Nice. That was great, man. So nice having an instrumentalist with me here. Beautiful.
Well, you know, just give me like the obvious like shake of the head if you.
I will.
Just the panicked like not on this one.
Shut the fuck up, Ben.
It's a ballad, not a blues song.
That was great.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. Wow.
Are you on that one?
I'm on this one. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow,
I never took a
It's
picture.
so real.
That's amazing.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to. Y'all, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you. I'll give
If
you.
you
a topic.
joined us late, we have pints of Guinness, both of us, that have our heads on the Guinness, and I've never seen it before. So thank you.
People driving parkways and parking driveways. Discuss.
I mean, I've seen them do flowers on my cappuccino, but this is like. Can you come to pubs with me? How much would it cost to bring you around to bars? Just so I can only drink my own head.
She's like, if you have to ask, if you have to ask.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shane just said Macy's going to come. Macy is the woman who's putting my heads on the Guinness. She's going to come for my album release July 9th. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, it'll be worth it for that. Oh, July 3rd. 3rd, yes. Come here, July 3rd. We're having a big show, 6-piece band. It's going to be great. There's an early and a late show. Go get your tickets.
Awesome.
Over to you.
just the sound of my boots in the snow as they crunch through the layers of ice on the road. Just one step, then the next. I keep following footprints that haven't been left. But I know that the snow is the moon, and each step on its surface is completely new. So just give me a hint, tell me what's on your mind, or I'm stuck in this lunar eclipse I designed. Well, I wanted to talk, but you told me to leave. But now that time's mine, I can find time to breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can hear the flakes pass by my ears, recalling the words that get fainter each year. Just goodbye, or how was your day? Yeah, those phrases we spoke just keep drifting away. But I know that the snow is the moon, and each step on its surface is completely new. So just give me a hint, tell me what's on your mind, or I'm stuck in this lunar eclipse I designed. Well, I wanted to talk, but you told me to leave. And now that time's mine, I can find time to breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a note, a page crept through my door that explains your delay and your care for before it's a fake, an apparition of hope designed by my mind, just a careful man's rope. But I know that the snow is the moon, and each step on its surface is completely new. So just give me a hint, tell me what's on your mind, or I'm stuck in this lunar eclipse I designed. Well, I wanted to talk, but you told me to leave. And now that time's mine, I can find time to breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thanks.
That's really good.
I feel like this is cannibalism, what I'm about to do. It's like,
Self-cannibalism.
should I go for the bun first?
That's what I would do if you were a meal.
Oh yeah, it's just gone. There it is.
There goes the man bun. Everyone wanted to know, now we know.
Now I know what I look like with short hair.
Well, what do you think? You're going to go for it?
The
I
short
like the
hair?
bun.
The what?
I miss the bun right now.
Maybe I can pull it back out.
Is that one? I'm going to keep asking. Is that one on your upcoming?
It's on the
have
new
an album
record.
coming
Yeah,
out. You know?
new record released in the fall. I'm almost done with it. We're doing the final mixes now, and I think it's sounding pretty darn good. And so, stay tuned, folks, because new music coming out. I've been working on it for a while now, and I'm really proud of this record. So,
I
yeah.
can't wait to hear it. Lots of people tuning in, especially from back home. Geraldine Hickey and Susan Corcoran There's a few people asking me to sing this song, this Greg Trooper song. So I'm going to sing it. It's called Ireland. Did you know Greg Trooper? Did you ever hear that name? He passed away, was it 2017, I think? Greg passed away, but he used to play here all the time, and he spent a lot of time in Austin. And do you know Chip Dolan in Austin plays keys? He used to play keys with Greg, right? And
Okay,
he asked me if I'd learn this song Ireland by Greg Trooper, and when he said it, I was like, I don't want to learn that song because it's Ireland, and of course you're asking me to sing it.
It's like me playing Man Bun.
Right.
The song Man Bun.
I got this great song called Man Bun. The Michigan
I'm
Man
not learning.
Bun.
I'm not learning Michigan Man Bun.
Exactly. But then I listened to it, and it was great. It was such a good song. And then I kind of fell in love with Greg Trooper and all he's got these great classic songs, like really good stuff. And then I sang it here, not knowing that he was like a family member here at the Duck, basically. And it got such a good reaction. I've been playing it ever since, and I recorded it with Rich Brotherton and Betty Sue. And it's in F. It's for Susan and Geraldine. A cool summer rain frees us from the heat, and a full moon rising lights the darkened street. And it's just like you. It's just like you. Ireland. Your mandolin, you light up the hall. Not a dry eye left. You killed them all. That's just like you. It's just like you. Ireland. And I don't need weapons. No, I don't need shields. I don't need control of the driving wheel. Not when I'm with you. Not when I'm with you. Ireland. When I'm with you, you feel so right. My pocket's full on a Friday night. My ship has docked. My kingdom's come. My heart's unlocked and overrun. And a bed is placed on the slowest steed. Man, that horse wins the race in record speed. That's just like you. It's just like you. Ireland. When I'm with you, it feels so right. My wallet's full on a Friday night. My ship has docked. My kingdom's come. My heart's unlocked and overrun. And a thief is spared when the truth is told. The poor received all that that he stole. And that's just like you. That's just like you. Ireland. Yeah, that's just like you. It's just like you. Ireland. Like you, it's just like you, Ireland. Hey. Thank you. Jenny Newman said about your last song, wow, what a song and what a voice.
Oh, thank you.
Jenny Newman's got good taste. Yeah, Steve Whelan says harmonica was so nice with that. Cool. All right, back to you, Ben.
I have imposter syndrome with harmonica sometimes because, like, I do hear and I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to step on any toes in this, but I'm always just, I have this imposter syndrome where I'm just always waiting for someone to just go out of the corner, you know. And
I think every musician, singer-songwriter has imposter syndrome at some stage.
I give harmonica lessons, and during during the pandemic, especially, you know, I do like Skype lessons, and I always tell my students, like, the mark of the way you can always really tell a good harmonica player is like this move right here, where they just go like, and they just decide not to play, and they just put it back down, and they're like, maybe. No, I'm gonna wait. And I'm like, that's always like when you look for a harmonica player that's good, usually they'll do that quite a bit.
Yeah. It's the case with a lot of instruments, except drummers. You want them playing.
Although with drummers, I feel like you can always, I mean, and this is of course not the rule, but like, because, you know, some drummers with big kits always, you know, they can really play. But it's always a good sign when you hire a new drummer and they show up with like 3 things, you know, and not a whole bunch of stuff. If they just have like a you know, bass drum and a hi-hat and a crash and a snare, you're just like, oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great gig. When the guy puts a rack up and 2 bass drums, you're always like, oh no, this guy hasn't played enough gigs to figure out how tired he is of carrying that stuff.
I'm playing with John Green right now, and he's like the
John Green just brings a gasoline can, right? At this point, he just brings a gasoline can and a vibro slap, and he just he does it.
He's so good.
Life on the highway takes a toll on me that I cannot explain. Drive 1,000 miles, then I lay down, get up and do it again. There's a picture of a young girl in my rearview mirror, but I ain't looking back. I'm thinking to myself, goddamn, there ain't too many women like that. But when the lights in my rear view disappear, and my headlights are the only thing I know, how I would wish that I had that one girl near. But I am married to, I am married to, I am married to, oh, I'm married to the road. Yeah, I'm married to the road. The road signs know my stories, and they know where I am going better than I. And they'll be here when I'm gone to guide the weary travelers that pass by. Well, the yellow line is fading like a station on the AM radio. But I'm thinking about Austin and why it is that I had to go. But when the lights in my rear view disappear, and my headlights are the only thing I know, oh, how I would wish that I had that one girl near. But I am married to, I am married to, I am married to, Thanks very much. Wrote that with a good friend of mine, Mr. Noah Collins, out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I know that song. I remember that song. Pretty impressive that I remember songs like from just gigs. I don't listen. I don't have one of your records, but just from being at some of your gigs, it's an impressive thing to kind of leave people with your originals in their head. Like you sang it, and I remember the chorus. I was waiting for that chorus. That's cool.
You want to write songs that are kind of like a virus a little bit. They're infectious and they stick with people for a long time and travel to others.
Sounds topical.
I thought it's good timing for that. I know, is that not a good time for that joke? I thought it's like the best time to do it. Maybe it's the worst time. I don't know. Pat's just like...
Well, I wrote this song with John Fauci last... is that his first name? Anthony Fauci.
I was like, I don't
know.
John
Fauci. Johnny Fauci from Tip. He's a pub out in the Byrne. No. Would you care if I requested one of your songs at some point?
Of course, yeah, whatever.
There's a song of yours that I love that I've been threatening to cover for a while, if you wouldn't mind. It's
by all means.
My pretty little flower,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
there in an hour. I just gotta take.
Yeah.
What is it called? What's it
I
called?
just call it Flower, yeah. And yeah, it's funny because like playing next to you, especially on my ballads and stuff, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, man, I just wish I had an Irish accent. This would sound so much better that way. Like, you know, say Flower.
Flower.
Yeah, it's way
Flower.
better. So
I
much
turned
better.
it up to 90 there.
Right, yeah, no, it sounds so much better.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna learn that.
No, make me $1 million, man. Nobody's gonna.
Make myself $1 million first. I don't see that happening for a while. Okay, well now there's a segment that I've been terrified of today. Learn it or burn it. You're in on this whether you like it or not.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Been doing this for the last few weeks, and 4 songs are gonna pop up on the screen, and you have 10 minutes to vote for which one you'd like me to sing. And we're just gonna try and learn it on the spot. And sometimes it can be a 10-minute of me listening to a Spotify song, really boring to watch. And then I'll try it. So far, we haven't had to burn a song. We've learned all of them. But I honestly didn't see these till right before we started. So here's what you're voting on. Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croce. That's a cool one. So Far Away by Carole King. I'm actually not sure which song that is, but I love everything Carole King does. So, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. And We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister. Be gentle, everyone. There was one week, there was like 3 amazing songs. Like, I was actually, I can't remember what they were. But I was like, wow, I'd like to do all these songs. And then the 4th one was Phenomena from Sesame Street or whatever.
Oh yeah, totally.
And that one. But like there's no lyrics at all. I was like, why are they Yeah, and me and Miles Zuniga did it for like 2 minutes. Anyway, go easy on us. And here's a song that I wrote with Anthony Fauci last year. We're hoping it goes viral. This is called Precious Cargo. My load was oh so light. The road was long and I traveled day and night. My feet were strong and I'd walk through fire and ice, searching for you. When I found you, I was scared. The road disappeared and I felt so unprepared. My strengths were down and your words sounded just like a prayer. They went right through me. You took my hand, walked me out to see the sun. I'd been on this road forever, but my journey's just begun. Empty vessels disappear out on the sea, but I've got precious cargo, and I'm keeping it with me. Now when things don't go so well, when spirits fracture and tempers start to swell, I know she loves me and I love her as well. Things will be okay in the morning, 'cause when treasure comes your way, you grip it tight through blizzards and hurricanes. And in the dead of night, when your demons keep you awake, she'll pacify your burden. I didn't have much in my pocket, and what was left soon disappeared. I spent it all in taverns, chasing whiskey down with beer, gambling and wagering and looking for a fix. But now I've got precious cargo, and I'm not taking risks. We're united, we're connected, we're a pair. Happiness is only real when it's shared. So take the lead and I'll follow you anywhere, if you let me. So let me take your hand. We'll cast our shadows in the sun. We've been on this road forever, but our journey's just begun. I give to you my everything, but be careful what you do, 'cause I've got precious cargo, and now honey, so do you. Honey, so do you. Thank you. Jim Croce. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
He's running away with it. I shouldn't have said anything because I do kind of want that one to win. And last week I said I didn't want Sweet Child of Mine to win, and it won.
I'm always so bad with covers. I don't really listen to the radio that much. And I play with a friend of mine, Reggie Sullivan, out of Columbia, South Carolina. And he's like, he plays a lot of the hits and reworks them and stuff. And I always think, like, when I hear stuff on the radio, I'm like, is that a Reggie Sullivan song? And I always think, like, he's made it because he's, like, crazy good, you know? But then somebody's like, no, that's Bruno Mars. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, my bad. But the whole time, I'm like, wow, this is a great song, dude. You should really, you know. But...
So you never did cover gigs? Did you just start writing from an early age and kind of stay?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I know some covers, but like I kind of do it on purpose because I'm a little afraid if I start doing covers, especially depending on the gigs that I play, that you know, it's sort of like, you know, you give a mouse a cookie, you know, and like
you're absolutely right.
You know, if you play one song for them, you know, then they'll just be like, oh, sweet, so I can just pay you $5 for whatever song I want in the world. Right. And it's so much easier to just be like, I don't know that song, I'm so sorry. You know, if I did know it, I would play it for you, but I don't, and that's on purpose.
Yeah. I grew up not having ever written a song. I wrote my first song when I was 28, and so but I've always sang and been I've never worked a job other than music, but it was like singing at weddings and singing in pubs, and so I know so many songs. And then I started writing my own stuff, and I loved doing that. But it's always tempting to go back into a song that everyone knows because you get that instant gratification from everyone. It's much harder to sit and do an hour and a half of your own stuff and try win people over that way, and it's way more impressive. But
you know, it's funny, like a lot of the songs, I mean, I will say, I do know at this point, I know a fair amount of covers, but most of the covers are all like songs that my friends wrote, you know?
Right.
And I love playing those because it's like, you know, the Beatles don't need any help, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, we don't need to, like, they're doing just fine, you know? And also, like, why beg the comparison, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, if I did a Beatles song, how many times have they heard Yesterday? And I might be able to do it justice, but, like, it's still... You know,
I actually like doing covers, like what you said. If it's a friend of yours or a song that no one knows and you're bringing it to them, like we do Ula, the Irish group, every Sunday, and their songs, they're all covers technically. They're all old folk songs, Irish songs that none of us wrote. But the people of Austin don't really know them, and it feels like we're giving them something new, you know?
Yeah, well, and even just like, you know, I mean, sometimes even just like swapping the gender of the person who's performing. Like, I have a couple of like Fiona Apple songs that I can play, you know, that I love. I like because it just sounds so different when I sing it than, you know, and than she does. So it's like I just don't need to. I don't want to be a jukebox for anybody, you know.
Yeah, you're dead right. It's soul sucking. I did it for a long time.
Yeah. But you learn a lot of good tricks, though, with that, because, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, if you learn the Beatles repertoire, then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is,
no doubt.
I can do this in this song that I'm writing and stuff, too.
I was wondering, have you heard Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison? Could you give us a...
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that song.
Give us a verse of that.
I'm sorry, I wish I knew that song, but I actually don't. I don't know that song.
I'll harmonize the Sha-La-Las. Are you sure you don't want to?
I don't. I am not familiar with that song. It's
okay, well, that's fair enough. It works.
It's Dan Corsican?
Dan
Corsican?
Yeah.
Dan Corsican?
John Fauci's cousin.
I'll check out Dan Corsican sometime. So.
He's the second cousin of John Fauci's.
Well, I'll play the cover I'll play the request you had. And it's funny because actually this song I borrowed a lot from. I was listening to a bunch of sea shanties, and there's this song called "Leave Her Johnny," and and I was just because I like listening to sea shanties, and I kind of borrowed from that melody a little bit, and so I guess this is as close to a cover as I have, I suppose. I saw her put the pen to page, a picture I framed in my mind. Felt the time it took for the ink to spread as she moved to each new line. Oh, but the words, chosen words grown from heartfelt loan. Oh, my pretty little flower, I'll be there in an hour, but I gotta take the long way home. Each letter bore a woman's frame, all curves and secret smiles. Danced an image of a waiting love, birthed strong with flesh and fire. Oh, but the words, pregnant words, forged from fresh new foam. Oh, my pretty little flower, I'll be there in an hour, but I gotta take the long way home. The speckled paint beneath her nails, catch a glimpse of steady water boring holes in both my lips, to see right through those aching words that tell me lies, meander on for all she cares to pass her Folded twice, the edges matched. It was clear she took great care. Paid homage to my grandfather's time, when patience and love were paired. Oh, but the words, keystone words laid down by the teeth of a comb. Oh, my pretty little flower, I'll be there in an hour, but I gotta take the long way home. Yeah, yeah, my pretty little flower, I'll be there in an hour, but I gotta take the long way home. Yeah, yeah, my pretty little flower, I'll be there in an hour, but I gotta take the long way home.
I love that
Thank you.
song. Man. Thank you, Rusty. That's gorgeous. Cheers. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for asking me to be here, y'all. Pat Byrne, everybody. Give him another round of applause.
Yeah, the last, like right before the pandemic, you were starting a residency. I was so annoyed that it didn't come to fruition. The Unhappy Hour, is that what it was?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I had it booked. Oh,
I was
pissed
booked
about
for one
that.
of them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you were. I've been dreaming, and actually, I started it when I was in Scotland. I stayed in Scotland for a month doing the Fringe Fest up there.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I was up there for the whole festival, and like some guys who own this pub were just like, hey, like you should come and play, and we ended up, because I was playing a show every night for, like, this show is like South by Southwest, but every week for a month, except it's mostly for like acting and comedy and writing and stuff. So, but yeah, so I started this Unhappy Hour where I would just get like guests come up and we just play the sad. We just try to out-sad each other. You know, we'd be like, oh well, I killed 3 people in this song, and you only killed 2 people in the last one, and like, let me tell you, the Scots loved it. Like the Scots were just all about like. There were some people that were there that I like couldn't believe we were speaking the same language. Like they'd just be like, "Oh, na kana on the brug on the in usen fun," and then they killed that bastard. You know, like, it was like, but they loved the dark songs and the storytelling tunes. And yeah, I've been always wanting to have like a monthly or bi-weekly gig of the Unhappy Hour.
You need to work on bringing it back.
I mean, yeah.
Excited.
Now that we're all vaccinated, you know, I think it's time to bring it back, and you'll be the one I call.
When you asked me what I had just written, like 3 of the saddest songs I ever had, and I was like, yeah, it was like, I was just so excited to do it because I actually had some very sad songs.
And you get to double down on that crowd, you know? You get
well,
to
you don't
just,
have to
like,
worry.
yeah,
Normally I feel guilty. I'm like, okay, here's a song, it's a bit sad. If you can just bear with me for 10 minutes. And they're waiting for like you to do Proud Mary afterwards.
Yeah.
Whereas on that gig, they signed up for it. As they're walking in, they know it's sadness, and you don't have to feel any guilt.
Yeah, I want to play a gig where people leave and exhale and feel like they just watched like a season of This Is Us or something, you know, like they just want to like, you know, just.
Yeah, an hour of hot yoga while there's like beheadings on in the corner. Jesus. Okay. Right. Well, Jim Croce won. I forgot to say that. Jim Croce won, so let me just listen to that song for a second. I do know it. Don't tug on Superman's cape. I just need to know how the verses go. Barry's got its guns. 42nd Street got Big Jim Walker. He's a cool shooting son of a gun. Country house. And folks love to get together at night. Superman's cape. To the wind. Pull Mexico. Okay, let's see what happens here. Uptown guys, yeah, this is going to be a different version, and we might not get to the end of it, but here it is, Jim Croce. After our little discussion about no covers, here we go. Uptown's got its hustlers, the Bowery's got its booze. 42nd Street got Big Jim Walker, he's a pool shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he's big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when he had get together at night. You know they all call Jim Beam Goss just because they say. No, you don't tug on Superman's cave. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the moss off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, out of South Alabama came a country boy. He said, I'm looking for a man named Jim. I'm a pool shooting boy. My name's Millie McCoy. Down they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He's driving up a Cadillac. Last week he took all of my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. Yeah, you know you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. No, you don't pull the mask off an old Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Do you know the chorus better than me?
I followed you the second time.
Okay. Let's get some more harp on this one. You don't pull on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off of that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. No, you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Okay. I don't know if that was a good version of that song. I definitely skipped a lot of the lyrics, and but it felt like fun. We made it our own. You know, that was an original song.
Absolutely. You should do another one.
No, I'd like to hear. Well, let's pretend this is the unhappy hour. Oh, let's talk about this for a second. I've been playing these shows for almost a year now. It'll be a year next month. I started the Wednesday residency in July, and the Mucky Duck have been amazing to me, and they really just are incredible. They haven't closed the doors once since the pandemic hit. They found a way to keep things happening here. They've had these streams happening on the stage with no audience. They've been streaming around the world. They invested in these brand new lights and cameras. They pumped a lot of money into making this work, and they kept sound engineers and bar staff in business, and they've been feeding the front line, and they need your help because it's been a tough year. Things are slowly coming back around, but there's several ways you can help keep the doors open here. You can be part of their Feed the Front Line initiative, where they prepare meals here and deliver them to doctors and nurses around Houston, which is a great way to support the front line and the Mucky Duck. You can also buy some merchandise from their website. You can come enjoy a show like these fine folks have done here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Yeah. That's the best way to support the Mucky Duck. The restrictions have loosened. You can come and have a nice meal. The best pint of Guinness in Texas with Pat Byrne and Ben Balmer's heads on them. It's the only place you can do that. And yeah, you can also become a Live at Norfolk Street subscriber, where you get access to all the backstage gossip. You know, after this, you're going to do an interview. It'll be a tell-all, and the people who pay, there's a small monthly fee. They'll get to know all the ins and outs of Ben Balmer, and we also do an encore at the end of each show, and only the people who subscribe get to see that. So it's worth your while. Make sure you subscribe, and the people here, of course.
We save the best songs for that, right?
Oh, it's always the best part. It's a magic moment.
That's what I was waiting for, yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Leonard Cohen first sang Hallelujah at an encore here in the Duck. Like, he It was insane.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Buckley's, the first time he covered it was here as well.
Yeah.
So if you're not subscribing to that, you're missing out on big things. Okay, I'd like to hear what would be so this Unhappy Hour. What would the theme song of that be? Which of your songs do you think is most just to put everyone through the mill here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll play that song.
If you don't mind, I'm
Not at
requesting
all.
too much of you.
Not at all. It's funny you said Leonard Cohen. Like, I heard a recording of him a while back where he was doing a sound check and he was chatting with the sound guy and he was like, okay, the sound guy was like, hey, how do you think how's your monitor mix? And he said, poisonous. And he was like, I'm sorry? And he was like, in that it seems fine right now, but it will slowly kill me throughout the night. And I just thought that was like one of the funniest, and also like, come on, man, just do the sound guy a solid, tell him what you need, man. But also, he's clearly a writer.
Poisonous.
All right. I do have a song about eating a dog, but I think I'll save that one for later. It's not because you want to, but it's like it was dire circumstances, but that'll happen when we have the Unhappy Hour. You'll hear that one. It's called Biscuit.
All the meat served here is totally above board, and it's
totally fine. Yeah.
It's past all the health regulations. A bitter taste that's left on the tongue, a smoking gun, I knew it was wrong. He tried to draw first, but he knew I was faster. I shouldn't have kissed her, that man would have loved her. Ooh. Her name was Irene, she was patient and clean, that man's worship dream, a heartbroken queen. Just a flick of my wrist, and I end that man's life. I widowed his wife, just a roll of the dice. On my page, another link. I can't help but think that bullet looked better on me. I'll just turn another page, watch life pour away to the river that I love to miss. Just a kiss, just a kiss. Now the years pass by, I ride through this town shy. I see Irene from time to time, I can't look her in the eye. She gets worse every day, all the folks in town say. Got no words left to pray, just watch his life slip away. On my chain, another link. I can't help but think that bullet looked better on me. I'll just turn another page, watch life pour away to the river that I love to miss. Just a kiss, just a kiss. Ooh. I had to save what was left of my soul to be kept, so through that window I crept. I came in while she slept.
I put the gun on the bed, said I need to be bled. If you wish it, I'm dead. Just put that iron to my head. She said, I wish you to hell. Her words rang like a bell. Her voice healthy and well. Turned the gun on herself. On my chain, another link. I can't help but think that that bullet looked better on me. I'll just turn another page, watch life pour away to the river that I love to miss. On my chain, another link. Well, I can't help but think that that bullet looked better on me. I'll just turn another page, watch life pour away to the river that I love to miss. Just a kiss, just a kiss. Thank you.
Wow.
It's a sad song. A lot of people died in that one. It's a great thing about writing songs, you know. I can't kill people in real life, but I can think about it. I can make it into art. It's a healthy expression, you know.
Yeah, I've yet to kill anyone in my songs.
Me and you, man, that's what we're gonna do, dude. We're gonna our first co-write. We're gonna have
Double homicide.
We're gonna have a solid killing song, man. That's you're my mission, man. Like we're gonna do it.
Jesus. Yeah, because I have a clean sheet legally, you know. Haven't done anything wrong.
Me too. That's why I write the songs to
Right.
keep it clean, you know.
Right. I might get a few drug offenses on there as well.
Could I order a Pat Byrne special?
I'll have a Ben Balmer special, please.
Yeah.
Marcy, if that's all right.
Could I have a Guinness with Pat's head on it?
Yeah, I fancy a bit of this on my pint, if that's all right.
Would that be all right?
Oh, well, that's okay.
Never mind.
Just have a
regular one then.
We'll have just a regular Guinness head. Ted's going to use a toothpick to draw me. He's an exceptional artist.
Right.
I forgot to mention, obviously support the Mucky Duck as much as you can. I love this place and we got to keep it in business. Also, we need some tips. If you're at home and you can afford to spare some money, we have my tip information is going to pop up on the screen. I'll split everything with Ben 50-50 and it's a free show. I'm just happy you're all tuning in. But if you have something to spare and you'd like to support some singer-songwriters, send some tips our way. I'm going to do the song. I think I wrote this song I wrote lots of songs one morning when I was very hungover. And then the next day you text me and you were about this unhappy hour. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And this song, as soon as I wrote it, I was like, maybe it's just about being sad, and I don't know if it actually says anything, but it grew on me, and I like it now. It's called Win, Lose, or Drown. I tie my shoes, I listen to the morning news. I wonder if I'm gonna win or lose or drown today. The bills are stacked, it feels like I could have a heart attack. How am I ever gonna pull this back together? Look at him, he's living out his every dream. He's peaceful like a flowing stream in the morning. Yeah, he's got it all worked out. Makes makes me wonder what it's all about. Am I ever gonna stand up proud and tall again? How did it ever come to this? Every dream's a counterfeit. Every single swing's a miss, and I can't look me in the eye. I'm falling like a cannonball. I'm gonna lose it all. I keep staring at the ground and the writing's on the wall. God made man. Oh, what an evil plan. Made me a player in a game that's damned to failure. So I close my eyes, try to escape the noise, try to think about a better life worth chasing. How did it ever come to this? Every dream's a counterfeit. Every single swing's a miss, and I can't look me in the eye. I'm falling like a cannonball. I'm gonna lose it all. I keep staring at the ground and the writing's on the wall. So I tie my shoes, listen to the morning news, wonder if I'm gonna win or lose or drown today. Thank you.
Love that song, man. Such a good
you.
song, dude. You got so many great lines in that.
Thank you.
Say what? Sad songs make me happy, and that's the truth, because it makes me, I don't know, feel, it's cathartic, I worry about people who write happy songs, because, like, I go through hard times and then I write songs and they make me feel better because it's, like, hard to process those sad and, like, despondent feelings. And then what I wonder is, like, if, people who write happy songs, are they like having trouble processing that? Because that's like my default. I'm usually in a pretty good mood. I'm feeling pretty good about my life, and I'm just wondering if it's like the opposite for people who write happy songs. If they're just like those are the people you got to worry about.
I think there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah, it's like do they have trouble processing a happy day that they had, and they had to be like write a happy song?
I don't know. But comedians, similarly, like comedians, I know notoriously struggle with their mental health, and obviously you just need to be happy in some. But I also think I challenge myself a lot to write happy songs because I think it's harder to write a happy song and still feel cool about it. Mm-hmm. Like it's much easier to be sad and have angst. Not that it's easy if it's good, but my tendency when I sit down and pick up the guitar is like, right, I'm feeling like shit. Let's just write a sad thing. Yeah. And it's harder to force yourself. Look, you're gonna write a happy song here, and so I try to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
have you seen this?
Your song. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, mine was going to be way less interesting.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got Whimsical Ben.
It's insane how photographic it is.
It's incredible.
This is the worst. This picture of me has haunted me for 10 years. You see that? Yeah. It's this airbrushed picture of me. If you Google search me, this is the first picture that comes up, and every bar uses it as my poster. And I'm like this. And I have a scarf on that
It's
some
sultry. It's very
stylist gave
sultry.
me. I didn't even own the clothes I was wearing, and I'm airbrushed. And it's like, that's disgusting looking. But this one will be delicious.
Man, you had a lot of great lines in that song, man. It reminds me of that old tune from like the 40s or something. That everything happens to me. Do you know that song where it's like I'm just catching colds and missing trains. You know, like I love that line. But it like all of those lines just fit right with those kind of yeah. All right. I should have left in the morning when I felt I had the need. Felt my boots start to stutter, felt them slowly lose their speed. In this world of choices, well, why did it leave me with one? But I cannot be the man who runs. I've always been the favorite son. Decisions from a Gatling gun can't keep me away from here. I felt an hour click past me, an iron chain on an anchor of rust. Watching that parcel she sent me, unopened just like we discussed. In this world of process, well, why do I always feel done? But I cannot be the man who runs. I've always been the favorite son. Decisions from a Gatling gun can't keep me away from here. I'm the king of the palace of do-right, miasmic companion to lust, a tearful display in the moonlight. She's so honest, she turned into dust. But if this world just gives you love, well, why do I blink through anathema? But I cannot be the man who runs. I've always been the favorite son. Decisions from a Gatling gun can't keep me away from here. Yeah, they can't keep me away from here. Yeah, they can't keep me away from here. Thank you.
Decisions from a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Your lyrics are very, very good. Like, just faultless. Really great. Okay, well, we don't have much time left. I'm going to do one, and then I'll let you take us home.
All right.
And Steve Gallion is here every week. Absolute legend. Thanks for being here, Steve. And he always requests this song, and I never do it for him. So I'm going to do it, and it's a really sad one as well.
Love it.
But it's by an Australian, you'll know this, Paul. It's by an Australian songwriter called Eric Bogle, who's played on this stage a few times. And this is a huge song in Ireland. The first version I heard was by Liam Clancy. When I was 14, I was just kind of really getting into music, and I loved Nirvana and the Pixies, and I thought I was really cool. And my dad said, Liam Clancy's playing in Kilkenny, which was a half an hour away. Famously, Bob Dylan says Liam Clancy's the best ballad singer that ever lived. And he lived in Waterford, which was an hour away from my house. And he was playing a gig in Kilkenny, and he was probably in his 80s at this stage. And it turned out to be one of his last gigs. He died a few weeks after this gig, and my dad really wanted me to go to the gig, and I just was too cool. I was in that teenage stage where I thought I knew more than everyone, and I was like, no, that's not good music. System of a Down is good music. And he dragged me to it, and I had a real transformation where I just fell in love with the storytelling. He wasn't a writer, but he would take these old folk songs and deliver them so well. He had all the definitive versions, and this one was the band played Waltz and Matilda. You know this one, Paul? And it's a song about was it World War One that was set in where they landed in Gallipoli? Yeah, World War One. And it's heartbreaking. It's my favorite anti-war song. One second, I'm gonna find the lyrics. Bear with me. It's for you, Steve. I hope you appreciate this.
Man, this went by so fast. Thank you all so much for being such a wonderful audience, and all the folks at home. Really appreciate that. And yeah, Pat, thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast.
Thanks for being here. I've wanted to play with you for a while.
Oh man, this is couldn't think of a better room.
Well, the coolest thing about this gig for me has been I never get to play with other people. No one's calling me to be their guitar player.
Right, yeah.
And like, it's probably similar with you. You're the guy who's booking people.
100%,
so
yeah.
It's been so cool to like book like-minded people and share a stage and play some songs. And yeah, so thanks for doing it.
Anytime, man. It's been a blast.
I'm gonna do this, and then Ben's gonna take us home. But this is the band played Waltz and Matilda. Now when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of the rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, and I waltzed my Matilda all over. And then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stopped rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. And how well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and of how in that hell they call Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs to the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was waiting, he primed himself well, he rained us with bullets and he showered us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat we were all blown to hell. They nearly blew us all home to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs, and then we started all over again. Those that were left, we tried to survive in the mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, though around me the corpses piled higher. And then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead. And when I woke up in my hospital bed and I saw what it had done, and I wished I was dead. I never knew there was worse things than dying. For no more I'll go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush, far and free. To hump tent and pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. And so they gathered, the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind, the insane, all the proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be, and I thanked Christ there was nobody waiting for me to cry, to mourn, or to pity. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered, no, they just stood and stared, and they turned all their faces away. And so now every April I'll sit on me porch and watch the parade pass before me. And I see all my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams and past glories. And the old men march slowly, all bones stiff and sore. They're tired old heroes from a forgotten war. And all the young people ask, what are they marching for? Sometimes I ask myself the same question. But the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men, they still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear, and someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they march up by that billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? Eric Bogle. Yeah. A few thousand in that one.
Yeah.
Top that, Ben. Have you won with a mass genocide in it?
No, I haven't written that one yet. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep with the killing theme because I think that's the appropriate thing to do. And you know what? This is a cover that was written by a good friend of mine, Mr. Mark Youngers. He's one of my favorite musicians in the area, and it was funny too because I actually I played him the Gunslinger, that one that I played for you before, because I was like, killed 2 people in this song, and he was like, killed 4 people in this song, man. And he played this one back to me, and I got to play on this record with him. But I think, like, it's funny when I hear people talk about when I hear people sing country music a lot, especially on the radio, you always wonder, like, how authentic those people really are, like if, have they ever put their back to a plow, like their song says, because I doubt it. But Mark Youngers is a dude who really has done that. And he grew up in a little farm in Minnesota, where him and his brothers, took care of it and ran the farm in order to keep their family afloat. And farmers were getting foreclosed by the banks and killing themselves. And his songs are just are profound and beautiful. And this is a song that he wrote called Johnson Farm, and it's probably my favorite killing song. There's an old road out on the west side of town. It runs by the graveyard near the old Johnson farm. There ain't no passing lane, there ain't no flashing sign. It's just used for funerals and farming and such. Yeah, the road's mostly used for hearses and trucks. Well, nobody knew the Johnsons too well. They'd come into town, but they kept to themselves. They lived off the grid, they had no telephone. If you wanted to talk, you gotta drive down the road. If you wanted to talk, you gotta drive down the road. 2 wooden crosses and 2 fresh dug graves, 1 empty bottle and 1 rusted blade. Lost in his pain, but he shed not a tear. Now the road's only used about 2 times a year. Yeah, the road's only used about 2 times a year. Well, word was he had a daughter and son. The daughter, she died playing with Daddy's gun. He buried her in that graveyard that night. Now everyone in town says Mr. Johnson ain't right. Yeah, everybody says Mr. Johnson ain't right. 2 wooden crosses and 2 fresh dug graves, 1 empty bottle and 1 rusted blade. Lost in his pain, but he shed not a tear. Now the road's only used about 2 times a year. Yeah, the road's only used about 2 times a year. He just turned 45, and then he was dead. He was younger than you when he shot off his head. There ain't no no turning back once that trigger gets pulled. If things can go wrong down an old dusty road, if things can go wrong down an old dusty road. 2 wooden crosses and 2 fresh dug graves, 1 empty bottle and 1 rusted blade. Lost in his pain, but he shed not a tear. Now the road's only used about 2 times a year. Yeah, the road's only used about 2 times a year.
Who was that?
Mark Youngers.
So good. Is he? Where's he from? Is he
He's from Martindale, Texas.
friend of yours?
Yeah, good
Cool.
friend. He did my first 2 records. Great
Produced
guy.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, killer dude. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
man, thank you so much for having me, man. Your
Thanks for
songs,
coming.
Your
Ben
songs
Balmer,
are so
everyone.
good. Thank y'all.
I hijacked your thank you there. I'm sorry. But Ben is seriously amazing. I urge you to go buy his music and new record coming out soon. So stay tuned. We're gonna wrap it up now. There was something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I do have to make a couple of announcements. Selfishly, I have a single coming out this Friday called "Just a Venial Sin." Ted, maybe you'll in the comments put a link to that pre-save there if you don't mind, real quick. And then this Saturday I'm doing a show at 310. You know, the Moody Theatre Little Sister venue, which I'm real excited about. I have it's the first performance with my full 6-piece band. I have Sela, John Green, Chris Wade, Brian Patterson, and Sela's nephew Andy is playing with me. So I can't wait for that. So get your tickets, 5 o'clock this Saturday at 310. Then we're supporting Shiny Ribs at Green on Sunday. But I think that's sold out. But got a fun weekend coming. Anything you'd like to say before we go? Anything you want to push, promote?
Memorial Day. I still have a few tables left. If you want to come out to Independence Brewery and watch my full band play the Memorial Day show, we play 7 to 9, and that's gonna be a great show. Great beer on tap. Full band. Yeah.
7 to 9. I think I'll be there.
Yeah, come on out.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again, Ben. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week. Cheers, man.